My name is Norma Nunez Langlois, and I am running again. Imagine 6 years ago I did this for the first time, and I'm still nervous. I don't know why, but as I said in my candidate statement, I've been part of the team that has been part of a team of library and trustees that got the referendum passed, worked together and got it passed, and we are getting a new library in Goshen at Salesian Park, which is where I always wanted it. Yay!
Yay! And you want to keep going with it.
And I want to keep going, to see the doors open and move in the books and see lots of kids running around and a lot of space.
Yeah.
See everyone of all abilities using a new and wonderful library.
Really nice. Thank you, Norma. So, Keith, because this
Chris,
way Bill can just take his time.
Right.
Go ahead.
What he said, what she said.
Yeah, let's do it that way.
Yes, actually, what Norma said. I started on the board with Norma 6 years ago. Prior, I was on the Citizens Advisory Committee. So I've been involved with the initiative to get a new library built for many years. I think, this board and other members who have since moved on did the right thing. They put the right time and thought into getting this to the public, and I had thought back then the Quattrini building would be perfect in the center of town, but I have since changed how I feel about Salesian. I think it's the perfect place for not only for the library and having green space for activities outside, but also for the invigoration of the park. I think it's going to be a wonderful marriage. I know Bill, I know Norma, I know me, any of the three of us, because I know Bill is certainly behind this and has some great experience, especially of late, and we're all advocates of the board and the library, and that's the main thing. We just want to do the right thing for the library.
Yeah.
And we don't get paid for this, we're here for the better.
No one told you that, Bill? We don't even get our late fees waived.
So that's my spiel.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, Bill.
Okay.
Let everyone know who
Despite
you
the
are.
lack of compensation. I'm Bill Troy, and as Keith has said, I've come more recently to the effort here. I've been very much involved in the past couple of years with the Friends, as Jim will attest. As a matter of fact, I think Jim would probably say I'm over-involved at some point, but I tend to go in 110% into the things that I'm in. And for the last year or so, I've been sitting in with the board meetings and doing what I can, writing and calling and speaking out to support this wonderful cause. And I'm a true believer, and although I haven't had that much experience with this board, I've had a lot of business experience with boards and with building campaigns and things like that, and therefore I think that if I were elected, I could bring something to the party. So that's it.
Thank you, Bill. So does anyone have any questions for the candidates? We still have 20 minutes. 22 minutes,
Don.
actually. Yeah, really?
Oh.
Yeah, he's not here. So, I really had a couple of questions for him, but he's not here. So,
Certainly busy schedule, I'm sure.
yes. Anyway. Anyone? Go ahead, Jay.
No,
You're good?
I think, just to talk about, the dreams for the new library in terms of programming, it's one of the things that I think it's invigorated the community in terms
Yes.
of the library and what they see the library performing, the duties and the programs. Our programs are so well attended. There are waiting lists, especially for our children's program, which will be a thing of the past in 2 short years.
Yeah.
It will be a thing of the past
Mhm.
that we can have it. one of the things that I've been thinking about in terms of, because of we're going to have more space in the new building, is an area where I think we haven't done enough, and that's in the area of adult literacy. But I think we need to start bringing that into the fold more, and I spoke to Matt a little bit about that. And I think that is something that, because we're going to have those small rooms, that we can, put in some, maybe even teach. I mean, I speak another language that I would love to share with other people. So I think that's an area that I think, with a new building, that we can bring in more programs for folks in the community.
Mm.
Thanks. Keith, anything?
Well, yes, rebuttal.
No.
No, actually, that's a perfect segue. I've been in the periphery of some poetry workshops, and people who I think I've read here in the past, Robert Milby, if you know him, and we used to have poetry readings here. And I think, and I remember I went to a couple of them. Most people were standing because, well, there was only standing room and no chairs, but that's certainly some activity that could be reintroduced to the new library, and that, and certainly other things for adults. So we'll have the space for it. So. Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Bill, anything else you
Just,
want
well, one additional thought, when Norm was talking about, we have a number of friends in Warwick now, and of course, Wisner was built, about 5 years ago, I think.
I think that's right.
And, we had so much energy and enthusiasm in our group and among certain members of the community for building the library, but it was somewhat theoretical. But the people I've talked to in Warwick are so thrilled with what they have down there and what is done for that library in terms of patrons and whatnot coming in. I mean, it's just astounding. It's become like a cultural center down there. And all the things we hope for, but as I said, ours was somewhat hypothetical, and we're dreaming. And through my involvement in our CLS board, I see that's happened also in the other newer libraries that have been built. It really invigorates the community. So I think this is something that we have to keep talking about as we move forward.
Mm-hmm.
I think there were two sides to the library issue, as we recall, and there may be still some people who have reservations.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we have to continue to try and win them over by pointing to these examples in adjoining communities of how successful the new library is.
Thanks, Bill. Okay, 18 more minutes.
So how about them Mets?
Yeah, really. I heard good things. Opening day and all that.
Well, why don't we close the candidates meeting
So,
and
yeah,
then
I think that's
start our meeting at 7:30 as usual.
yeah, it's fine with me. So you want to just any final words before we wrap it up? Going once. Well, look, you got a captive audience here. Yes, you have the floor and a captive audience. Go nuts. And okay, we'll just call this an evening. Thank you very much.
Good.
We could